What happens when the worlds of digital security and cloud technology converge to address the growing demand for private and intelligent cloud solutions? Well, today I'm going to reconnect with Jeff Miller, CEO of Synchronoss Technologies, a company at the heart of this pivotal transformation. Now, since our last conversation, I think it was July 2023, the company has been making waves with its secure and intelligent personal cloud solution. And although you might not have heard of them, you've probably came close to their technologies on more than one occasion because they are the backbone for global service providers such as Verizon, AT&T, BT and Softbank. And these giants white label Synchronoss Personal Cloud and allowing them to offer their users unparalleled data privacy, unlimited data storage options, and cutting-edge AI and machine learning capabilities in everything from photo optimization and digital content organization and so much more. So in my catch-up with Jeff today, I want to learn more about the launch of Anshin Databox in Japan with Softbank, a name symbolizing peace of mind. Love that. And also how they're facing the winds of regulatory changes and setting new benchmarks for what personal cloud services can offer. And Jeff's also going to discuss not only these advancements, the company's near-term and long-term roadmap, the technology that they're using, how they're leveraging AI, and how they're redefining personal cloud experiences in a world that increasingly values privacy over convenience. And that's a big one for me. Before we get today's guest on, though, I need to give a quick shout-out and a thank you to the sponsors of Tech Talks Daily this month. They are Kiteworks. And in a digital age where the landscape of remote work is ever expanding, the security and efficiency of your managed file transfer solution are paramount. This is where Kiteworks sets a new benchmark, far surpassing legacy MFT tools with its unparalleled security measures and user-centric design. They've even been awarded the prestigious FedRAMP Moderate Authorization, a recognition that is not easily obtained, and they've held it since 2017 by the Department of Defense. So what I'm trying to say here is don't let outdated technology dictate the safety and efficiency of your business operations. And you can start your journey towards uncompromised security and unparalleled functionality today by visiting kiteworks.com. That's kiteworks.com, where you can explore the future of secure data management. But now it's time to get on with the show and invite today's guest on. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to New York, where Jeff is waiting to speak with me today. So a massive warm welcome back to the show, Jeff. For anyone that missed our last conversation, could you just remind everyone listening with a little about who you are and what you do?
Sure. Thank you, Neil. It's delightful to be back. Just by way of brief introduction, my name is Jeff Miller. I'm the CEO of Synchronoss Technologies. Synchronoss is a software platform provider, primarily bringing our solutions to service providers, global service providers like BT, Verizon in the U.S., AT&T, and others, where we provide a cloud-based solution that keeps their subscribers engaged with their brands, capturing and securing very privately their photos, videos, digital files, and precious content.
Well, the last time we spoke, I think, was in July last year, 2023. So much, the speed of technological change is moving at such a breakneck speed right now. I've got to ask, how has the landscape for secure and intelligent personal cloud solutions, how has that evolved, particularly in the context of data privacy and security? Because it seems to be, or continues to be, a huge hot topic, right?
Oh, it absolutely does. And you captured it well. The pace of change continues to accelerate. First, I'll provide you a brief update that since the last time we spoke, we have even doubled down our focus on our cloud solutions. We, in fact, divested 2 non-core businesses since last year, and those were our messaging and sort of network technology software solutions, putting us 100% focused on our cloud-based solutions because that is such a dynamic and growing area. In addition to that, in November, we just launched our next cloud customer with Softbank in Japan, taking our platform that's been well deployed in English-speaking countries and now localized it in Japan and have it fully operational under the name of Anshin Data Box, which, to the point that you've made, Anshin means peace of mind. So what we're trying to continue to convey to consumers is what we do in privacy and security. We've seen immense adoption of our cloud solutions since the last year, and the landscape has changed technologically that we are constantly keeping up with the security requirements that change every day. And another major dynamic, which is extremely topical, that's going on in the industry, is the regulatory changes that are impacting cloud-based solutions and other applications being provided by companies like Synchronoss. Right up until yesterday, you saw new announcements that many governmental bodies in Europe and the United States are intervening in very large over-the-top and ecosystem providers like Google and Apple and putting pressure on them to make sure that they don't have a monopolistic behavior in ecosystems like iOS and Android. And those things are actually helping Synchronoss, who plays across both of those platforms.
And one of the things that I just love about you is that most people will have come into contact with your technology without even realizing it, because Synchronoss Personal Cloud is white labeled by so many major global service providers, from Verizon, AT&T, BT, and Softbank that you mentioned there. But I've got to ask, what is it, do you think, that makes your platform the preferred choice for these industry giants?
First is the fact that we've built credibility. Over 2 decades, we've provided experience of seamlessly integrating our software into their very complex and legacy-ridden IT infrastructures and systems. So we've proven that we can be, I'll call it, carrier grade in the way that we provide our solutions. And it provides our customers confidence that we will live up to their standards of security and the customer experiences that they're trying to deliver, enough so that they apply their brand name to our platform in the form of Verizon Cloud, AT&T Cloud, or, as I just mentioned, Anshin Data Box in the case of Softbank. We've also proven that subscribers who utilize our platform are going to be long-term subscribers to their services. In other words, we're a very sticky service. And we've statistically been able to show how churn or changes from customers leaving their services are dramatically reduced if they are users of our cloud platform. And then finally, I'd say we have a collaborative business model. So we capture the best of the marketplace advancements in areas such as AI, blend that in with the key priorities of the service providers, our customers, and develop a competitive and catered enhancement set of new capabilities that match what they want and what the industry is showing it needs.
And one of the things that I know that you're most proud of is the fact that you can offer this unparalleled data privacy compared to over-the-top cloud solutions out there. And there are a lot of them, and you do that to so many of the global service providers that you just mentioned. So is there anything you can share around not your secret sauce as such, but how you deliver this?
Yeah, well, our white label solution is delivered to consumers, via those carrier channels, as we discussed. And they're architected to the strictest standards of privacy and security, complying with the needs of those tier 1 global service providers. There is no behavioral tracking, no triangulation of user application usage. And the intent is to support, there is no intent to support alternative revenue models. So this security and the focus that we have is to make sure that we even distinguish ourselves from large providers of other cloud-based services who monetize some of that information that they capture. And we try to make sure that we are private by design and distinctly being, differentiated from that, if you will. Plus, we, of course, do the fundamentals. We encrypt the data, all digital content, as it's in transit or stored. We even provide you an additional secure private vault. If you have some data that you've captured that you want to make sure no one else can access but you personally, we give you the flexibility to put a password on that and make sure that it's protected even for one extra layer of security.
Now, we did mention a few moments ago that the speed of technological change is something that we're all talking about and we're all seeing and feeling. But I would say another huge trend right now is our insatiable appetite for data consumption. You just got to look at the storage on our smartphones for that. And with the trend towards increasingly consuming more digital content and hoovering up as much as we can, especially with AI coming into the mix as well, how are you able to manage and offer unlimited storage options without compromising on performance or security? Because it is increasing at a huge rate, and I would love to hear more about how you manage that very nice problem.
Well, it is an important area for us to address, because as more and more content is being captured, it becomes more unwieldy sometimes to find and locate that content when you want it, where you want it. So for us, the first step is to make sure that every piece of content, whether you store a single photo or video or terabytes of data, that any customer and any subscriber can feel confident that their content is protected, right down to the single image. But we are also working in conjunction with our partners to offer unlimited consumer offerings. And we're able to do this with another demonstration that it's more economical to serve millions of customers, as we do today, with over 10 million subscribers on Synchronoss's platforms, and leverage cost-effective storage and creative ways of making sure that we operate efficiently and yet give the consumer the peace of mind of saying, store all your content in an unlimited manner without ever worrying about overrunning your storage lot, and you can do so at an economical price. And I will say that this is a trend that we are enabling in partnership with our service providers, and it's bucking the trend that we're seeing from the large competitors. If you want unlimited storage today from Dropbox, as an example, it's a $75 per month proposition. We have solutions in place with some of our customers that make that just a little over $10. We have others who are putting limitations on your storage, but their pricing thresholds are continuously going up. So storage costs and subscription services are actually increasing in pricing. Free storage, which used to be a phenomena, is largely gone away. So we feel really good about the economics that we can provide our consumers in addition to the security that we provide end-to-end.
10 million subscribers across the platform. That is absolutely phenomenal stat. And of course, I mentioned AI a moment ago, so I'd love to find out more about the integration of AI and machine learning in Synchronoss Personal Cloud, especially in terms of optimizing photos and organizing digital content, because as you rightly said a few moments ago, we've got decades worth of data now that we're moving around to these online storage places, and finding that file that you need is becoming increasingly tricky, isn't it, without this?
Yeah, this is absolutely critical. And of course, AI is the topic of choice almost in any technological discussion these days. But in 2023, we introduced a solution set within our platform called Genius. This leverages the latest enhancements in computer vision to allow subscribers to repair damaged photos, colorize black and white images, or create pencil sketch or watercolor interpretations of existing photos, just as a few examples. So we use AI to curate user content as well and generate an interestingness score. Using that set of algorithms that enables the user to create, or allows us actually to create personalized recipes, if you will, which are delivered as collections or media at the right times, the right user, in any device that they want to choose. So in other words, we utilize the intelligence of AI to curate content for you, present it back to you at a time that you're most likely to want to engage with it. And for us, that keeps a user not just backing up and storing content, but interacting with it in a manner that keeps it fresh and meaningful in their lives. And we use this interestingness score and the algorithms behind it to make sure that we've done that at a personal level, not one size fits all, but we use your patterns, your photos, and we make sure that we curate, therefore, the content that you see.
And I suspect for most people listening, when they hear about cloud storage or online storage, they immediately think two questions. Can I back up my data, and can I restore that data to another device? But in addition to backup and restore capabilities, are there any other unique features that Synchronoss Personal Cloud offers to its users? Anything else you can shout about there?
Yeah, happy to. And in fact, we have 4 value pillars designed around a framework called a jobs to be done framework for development. And while the first pillar is what you just said, right? It's all about data backup, restoring in a private and secure manner. The other 3 pillars focus on one of the other things we just talked about: data organization, curation, and retrieval. The third, is on personalized recipes, highlighting, such that you can highlight what's most enjoyable for you and your family and your friends. And then finally, the fourth and the last pillar is all about inspiring and creating artifacts that allows you to integrate and interact and even further develop on that content. So we have developments in each of these areas, all of which are focused on enhancing the user experience with always that fundamental value proposition of data security and privacy.
And you are working with some of the biggest global service providers in the world, and I appreciate you probably can't share too much, but if we were to look at your near-term roadmap for Synchronoss, is there any other exciting developments or teasers maybe that users might be able to expect in the coming months?
Yeah, I'd say today we are mostly made up of Android device users.
Yeah.
We are multi-device, and that's Android and iOS, as well as providing you access through the web and any computers that you might have, or tablets or laptops or whatever the case might be. So we're continuing to enhance and simplify the backup and storage experience for a consumer, particularly in the iOS arena, because we believe there's significant growth opportunity for us and for our service providers to provide their alternative cloud solutions to the Apple user community. As I also mentioned, we are seeing, so much more content being captured, and we are going to continue to make it easier through new recipes for you to find and rediscover your content. And we're going to do it in more ways that are personalized, such that instead of you just being able to search, for example, on content and say, I'd like all pictures of dogs, we want to introduce, and we are working to develop, semantic search, which would allow you to say, I want all my pictures of my smiling grandson, and I want them on a beach. And you just sort of have a more intuitive, natural language inquiry, and you are able to get the precise types of images that you like. We think that speed to retrieval, that natural access to the content that's most relevant, is going to make our cloud solution further differentiated in the market and will allow consumers to enjoy that content ever more.
And when things like that when you experience something like that, it almost becomes your standard expectation for any future interaction with so many other different things too, doesn't it?
Oh, it absolutely does. You feel as if today, because people are able to say, write me an introduction letter for a new job opportunity, and you can get that from an AI tool. People want to have similar interactions with technology in all manner. And we feel that should be applied in our cloud solution, and make sure that we make it as intuitive for you to gain access and to curate and present the content that we have captured and secured for you, just as it is to leverage the latest ChatGPT capability.
And we started our conversation today talking about the pace of technological change. So finally, considering that long-term vision for Synchronoss, how do you see your products and services evolving to meet the future digital storage and cloud computing needs, and indeed those future expectations? Where do you see this all heading? I appreciate it's an almost impossible question to ask right now because things are moving that quickly, but how do you see that long-term vision?
Well, there are 3 themes that are very clear to us. The first of which is globalization. And while We launched successfully in Japan and it's utilizing the same platform, but as I mentioned, localized for the Japanese language. We expect further globalization opportunities for our platform and our business as we look at other service providers who are also struggling and interested to grow revenues with their subscribers and to give them reasons to stay with them for life. So globalization will be a major long-term theme for us, and I think it'll enable the future growth of our company. The next area is in the area of AI, which we've already talked about, but I'll emphasize on the fact that that is a moving target every day of every week. And as such, we expect to have further enhancements to curate content, to provide you easy ways to modify and further accent that content, and to share it with others as well. And then finally, our vision is that we're not only going to be capturing data that you personally captured on your mobile device or your computer, but rather there are a host within a home, a host of places where content is created, and we believe could be more securely stored in a single secure vault. So as we work more in the home, we would expect that a security camera would not only allow you to go to the security camera provider to possibly back up that content, but you'd have the option to just put it in your personal cloud. And that could be very important to you. Even voicemail messages, as simple as that is, people still might want to capture and preserve the memory of a voicemail that was captured by their parent and preserve it as a long-term asset. And we think new types of data like that will be collapsed into our cloud as we make more devices accessible into that cloud through our home solutions. So those are the areas that we're focused on. They match the priorities of our service provider customers who are trying to be more successful with families, more successful penetrating home and bringing solutions there, and certainly more successful at showing their innovation by the application of artificial intelligence.
Wow, exciting times ahead. And before I let you go, I'd love catching up with you today again, Jeff, but I'm going to ask you to leave everyone listening with one final gift, one final insight, and that is a book that you'd recommend that we can add to our Amazon wish list, or a song that we can add to our Spotify playlist. Guilty pleasures are allowed, but all I'll ask is, what would you like to leave everyone listening today and why?
You know, there's a new song that's been recently released that I think also captures the importance of preserving digital content and reutilizing it for new uses. Billy Joel, who I have been a fan of my entire life, just came out with a new song called Turn the Lights Back On. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to see the video that accompanies that song. The song itself is tremendous, and I think it's vintage Billy Joel style. However, the way this story begins is you see him in his current form in a stage playing a piano and beginning the song. The camera pans away and it pans back, and it is the Billy Joel of the 1970s singing the song through the use of artificial intelligence within perfect lips unison. It pans away and comes back with a Billy Joel in the 80s. And it does the same to the current Billy Joel of the 2024. They have utilized technology and AI in a manner that allows you to hearken back to the Billy Joel that first was introduced to us, and how it ties together to the future. And I found it to be both a poignant song and a great video capture of how you can use today's technology to bring back memories in a very meaningful way.
Oh, wow, that sounds incredibly cool. I'm a big Billy Joel guy as well. I've somehow missed this, so I will be checking that out at the end of our interview today. Man, I'm looking forward to that. And I'll also get it added to our Spotify playlist. And for anyone listening wanting to find out more about Synchronoss Personal Cloud, whether they be a global service provider wanting to know how they can work with you, or just a business leader listening and wanting to find out more, where would you like to point everyone listening?
You know, we'll simplify it for everyone. Just join us at synchronoss.com. Of course, we have our other social channels, but it is a great place to learn about new innovations taking place in the development of personal cloud solutions, and the direction we're heading as a cloud service provider on behalf of our customers. I want to thank you, Neil, again for the opportunity to speak to your listeners. and to visit with you.
It's a huge pleasure to have you back on here, and a great opportunity for me to discuss Synchronoss Personal Cloud a little further, and also, in addition, finding more about the company's near-term and long-term product roadmap, how you're leveraging technology, raising expectations, and that fact there that you mentioned, I think it was 10 million subscribers across some of the biggest global service providers in the world. Absolutely phenomenal. I wish you the best of luck, and we'll get you back on next year for other annual catch-up, and maybe even your hat trick of appearances. But more than anything, just thanks for joining me today, Jeff.
Thank you very much. I wish you the best for the week, and thanks for the time.
It's always a pleasure to catch up with Jeff, and he has been added to, and he remains on my cool guys I want to share a beer with, and I am going to be checking out that Billy Joel song in a moment. But it's clear to me that Synchronoss Technologies is not just navigating this evolving cloud landscape, but it is actively shaping its future. And they do this by prioritising data privacy and security while also introducing innovative AI-driven features and then focusing solely on cloud solutions. And in doing so, I think they stand out in a crowded market of providers who often use data as a commodity rather than a responsibility. And that's a big thing for me. And also, with over 10 million subscribers across major global service providers, combined with a vision to expand globally while enhancing user engagement and experience, seems to me they're destined for even greater success, especially considering that roadmap ahead that Jeff shared, which is equally ambitious and intent on revolutionising the iOS experience. It could improve content search and retrieval and maybe even integrate more home devices into their personal cloud ecosystem. But as we bid farewell to Jeff and the insightful world of Synchronoss Technologies, one question remains. How will our digital lives transform as the boundaries of privacy, security and intelligent cloud solutions as they continue to expand too? This is where I invite you to share your thoughts, your perspectives on this journey toward a more secure and connected digital future. So let's continue the conversation and explore together the endless possibilities that lie ahead in this realm of personal cloud technology and so much more. But that is it for this episode. Please email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, just @NeilCHughes if you need me for anything at all. Other than that, just a huge thank you for listening today. Hopefully you'll join me again tomorrow for another topic which we will explore together. But until next time, don't be a stranger.